This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
Police arresting 40 people this weekend in several operations for a number of crimes from drug possession, housebreaking, stealing and firearms possession.
ZNS Mon was in court this afternoon as 14 of those suspects were arraigned in the magistrate's court.
9 men, including a juvenile and an elderly man, and 5 women were arraigned in the Magistrate Court number 8 Monday afternoon before Magistrate Andrew Forbes for firearms, ammunition, and drug charges. While all of the women were freed, 5 of the men have been remanded to prison. 19-year-old Thorne Mitchell of Kennedy Subdivision was charged for possession of an unlicensed firearm, a .40 pistol, and 13 live rounds of ammunition on Friday, January 16th. He pleaded not guilty to the charges and was remanded to prison. He returns to court on March 31st. Also returning to court on that date will be 23-year-old Angelo Monroe of Soldier Road. He was charged for possession of an unlicensed .22 rifle on January 16th. He will remain in prison until then. 27-year-old carpenter Raz DeVoe of Pride Estates pleaded guilty to 6 charges in court on Monday. Police arrested him on January 16th for possession of dangerous drugs, according to court dockets, nearly 10 pounds worth, possession of unlicensed firearms, and several rounds of ammunition. He was sentenced to 6 years in prison. The attorney for 39-year-old Terrence Gator of Yellow Elder Gardens had quite a story to tell in court on Monday. Gator was charged with 2 counts of possession of an unlicensed firearm and 2 counts of possession of ammunition. His attorney revealed to the court that his client had been reportedly shot 10 times before, and some bullets were still lodged in his body. Even more so, the attorney pointed out that gunmen had allegedly shot up Gator's home last Monday. Gator's attorney further told the court that his client had the weapons for his protection, although he faced previous firearms possession charges in 2010 and was sentenced to prison. Gator, a fisherman by profession, will spend the next 3 years in prison. 21-year-old father of 2 toddlers, Shaquille Clark of Woods Alley, will also spend 3 years in prison. He was arraigned with possession of an unlicensed firearm and ammunition. Police made the arrest on January 17th when they found the illegal items in a bedroom. The young adult male was also charged with possession of dangerous drugs with the intent to supply. Police found some 30 small foil packets of marijuana at the time of his arrest. Police informed ZNS News that 12 guns were confiscated from the group. ZNS Mon, ZNS Network News.
Well, Defense Force officers today were recognized for their contribution on the job during an officers' commission and award of decoration ceremony. As Cleopatra Murphy tells us, several officers received instruments of appointment, while others were honored for their long years of service.
If we had done with national service what we did with the creation of the Defense Force, we would be in much better shape today as a nation.
National Security Minister the Honorable Dr. Bernard Nottage hinting at the level of crime as he addressed members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force during an award ceremony. He reminded the officers that they provide an invaluable service to the country, saying government has tremendous faith in the capabilities of the agency, which is the go-to one when difficulties arise.
We go to you to help the police. We go to you to help our traffic controllers. We go to you to help the prison when we have very dangerous criminals. We go to you very often for things that you may feel is not a part of your mandate.
Governor General Her Excellency Dame Marguerite Pindling was on hand to pin the officers being recognized for their service. 2 special awards were also handed out, the Distinguished and Meritorious Service Recognition Decoration. Commodore Roderick Bowe, who has served for 31 years, was a recipient.
Never expected to be the commander of the Defense Force. I just wanted to ensure that I was able to give service to my country. And I must say that I've had a wonderful career where I've been able to do a lot of things. I've been able to see the world, train with the U.S., the British. I've done training all over.
And while the group stood out for their work, Nottage further impressed upon them to be leaders of character, integrity, and sound judgment. He says it was Sir Lyndon Pindling's vision to create an agency to safeguard Bahamian sovereignty among other goals, and urged them to uphold strong standards.
11 of you will join the ranks as a commissioned officer in the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. A great responsibility has been entrusted to you. Please, don't disappoint us. To the officers and Marines who have received your long service and good conduct decorations, you have served your country with pride and dedication. It is befitting that we say thank you.
The National Security Minister says through the officers' dedication over the course of 30 years, Sir Lyndon Pindling's vision of an august body has been fully realized. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
A young man lost his life after crashing his car into a utility pole late Sunday afternoon. And as Janae Noel Ferguson tells us, he was the only one involved in the accident, and police are still piecing together information to wrap up their investigation.
Traffic at the Bahamar Boulevard came to a standstill Sunday afternoon after a man believed to be in his early 20s riding a red motorcycle crashed into a utility pole and died. Officers from the police traffic division were on scene conducting their initial investigations as a small group of onlookers gathered near the scene. Now, officer in charge of the road traffic division, Superintendent Craig Stubbs, filled reporters in on the detail.
The eyewitness account and from the evidence on the scene, it appears that the male was traveling south, but apparently lost control of the cycle and he collided with a utility pole. EMS came, responded. They pronounced him dead on arrival. Our investigation now is active. No other vehicle involved, just a lone motorcyclist on a utility pole. No recognizable injuries on the body. The autopsy will determine the exact cause of death, and we will be able to say classify it as fatality. Coroner's inquest will then take the initiative.
The victim's body remained on the sidewalk after dark had fallen just inches away from where his bike stood. Undertakers eventually took his body away, and the motorcycle he was reportedly driving was towed. Stubbs said the young man would have just gotten off work when the accident occurred.
He seemed to be between the age bracket between 20 and 25, a young adult male. From what understanding, he would have been an employee from the Sandals Resort. He would have just left his place of employment and was heading home to his home when he would have lost control of the cycle and collided with the utility pole.
This was his motorcycle?
From our understanding, there's no information on the cycle to say who's the actual owner. A further investigation will reveal if the bike was actually his own or he had borrowed it.
This latest traffic fatality marks the second for the year. Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network News.
And in sports, football highlights. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.